Hello and welcome. Today we are going to generate a very small utility application called password generator. This is a very tiny application, but there are a few tricks that we need to learn when we are using any kind of low code tool that is powered by React and JavaScript. Okay, this is a very simple utility. As you can see over here, it has every feature right on the screen. Like, you can set the length of the password, you can set the kind of characters that the password should be constructed with, and you can copy the password as well as you can generate the password. So I have kept the length to 16 and I have set that I want capital letters, small letters and numbers. Just click on generate password and there you have the password. This application has been designed to actively generate password as you make changes. Means that the moment I change this, it will take some time and it will generate the password, as you can see. So now it's a 27 character password. You can generate maximum 50 characters and minimum 4 characters. Anything less than 4 is not possible. Means that is the limit that I have set for this. Okay, so if I remove this lowercase, you can see the password is only with uppercase and numbers. If I want to add symbols, I can click it and I'm able to see symbols. This password is generated using a random number generation algorithm that is provided with JavaScript. So let's get on and build this tool. Let's create a new application. First thing that we need to do is rename it. I will say password generator. Now we need to have a small image. As you can see, there is an image over here and then there are controls over here. So to put that image, I will put an image control. Let's take this image. When you are using any image, you really need to specify the URL of that image. This is the general idea of image. But you can also pass a base64 based data string and Lowcoder will construct the image out of it. So I have copied a data string and I will just paste it over here. And there you have it. Let's resize the image to make it look good. Now we will have to insert a container. I will just put a container over here. As we do not require the header of this container, I'll just get rid of the header and I will switch it off from here. I will remove the show header so it will stop being visible. I can also have show footer to show, so header and footer both are available, but we are not going to use them. Inside this we will place a control called display. This will contain what we want to show over there. So if you observe, it says the password is colon and then space. So we'll put that over here. After this we are going to show the password, which we will add later. Okay, to make this into a headline, I will put one single hash. As this is a markdown field, it will show as heading 1. Below that we will have a slider which the user can use to increase the number of characters or the length of the password. Under that we will have characters used and a series of checkboxes. So let's reconstruct this. I will take up a slider and I will put it over here. Let's set the length of the slider. As you can see, there is a lag between the movement when you place the control and immediately start resizing it. So there is some kind of a problem over here, but let's hope it is solved in future version. The default value would be 16, maximum would be 50, and minimum would be 4. This is the thing that we need to set over here. Let's set password length. I'll put the L capital. To decrease the space, I will reduce this to 20 to make it. Okay. So now this particular slider has been set at the value of 16 with maximum value of 50, minimum value of 4, and a step or the value by which it will jump to 1. Under this we have to have a collection of checkboxes. So I will search for checkbox and I will drag and drop it over here. Again I will see if I unselect it, reselect it, and then start dragging. Now as you can see, there is something that's not working as expected. Anyways, let's name, let's label this as character used. Character used. Here also we will put it at 20. Now we need to add options over here. So if you check this, there are 4 options: capital, small, numbers, and symbols. So we need those 4 options over here. So let's edit this to default options. Let's give it a value of 1. Let's give it a value of 2. Add 2 more. Numbers 3, and symbols hash, dollar, ampersand, and assign the value to 4. That's it. So our basic structure is now there. Now what is missing is just a button that we need over here to generate the password. So let's put a button to generate the password. I will just take a button, place it over here. Generate password. Let's resize it a bit. Now first we will program this in such a way that when the user clicks on this, it will create a password. Okay, but we need to set a few default values. As you can see over here, like these have the default values, or they are ticked by default when the application starts. So we can set those values from here. By default, checkbox is a collection of checkbox, means it will return the values in an array. So if we need to set any default values, we also need to pass it as an array. So let's create or define an array and then give value. Did you observe? I spelled the value over here, and you can see these all things are automatically checked. I will remove 3 from here, and there you go, 3 is removed. If I would say 4, then that would be checked. After this basic layout has been created, now let's wire this up. So for this we will have to create a new object for data query, and this will be a JavaScript object. So I will say run JavaScript code. Okay, the trigger should not be when application page loads. It should be only when you trigger it manually. Let me copy and paste the code over here. I've just pasted the code. I will explain the code one by one, step by step, line by line as we go forward. Let's rename these queries. Okay, this renaming is not working properly over here, so I will go and rename it over here. I will say generate password. This particular JavaScript function will do some processing and generate the password, and that password has to be shown over here. Now that we have created this data query, we can edit the component over here and put handlebars and select generate password.data. Okay. To get the output of this code, it is necessary that inside the code you should have a return statement which will return something, and that the data returned by this return statement will be stored as data inside this particular JavaScript object. Now I will select this button and I will set an action to run data query, and I will select generate password. By default, as this is the only data query available in this particular application, it is selected. Now let's click on this. Wow, you got it. It's done. Let's analyze the code that I have used over here. I will just pop it up over here so that we can see the whole code closely. First thing is that we are checking over here that at least one checkbox has to be checked. If no checkboxes are checked, then we will not be able to generate a password. So I have used a trick, like, because as I said previously that the checkbox is a collection or an array of check values, so I am able to check for the length. So we can say checkbox, that's the name. Just let me close this up. The name of this particular control is checkbox 1. The name of this is slider 1. So we are going to get values from these two, and that is exactly what we are doing over here. So if the length is equal to 0, means none of the checkboxes are checked, then it will give an error message. But if the length is not 0, then we are declaring two variables. We can either use where or let. We can also say where, and we can also use let. Both of them are available in JavaScript. So one variable like the pass will hold the final password, and string is the string that will be used to generate the password. So based on this, we are again using another special JavaScript function called include. This function is only available for arrays. So if you want to check whether an item exists in an array or not, the fastest way to do it is to use the includes function. So here we are saying if checkbox.value.includes contains the value 1. See, observe, I have put it inside inverted commas, means this is a string. The reason being that by default the values written by the checkbox component is always as a string. Then after that, what I am doing, I am using the string variable, this one, and I am saying that string variable is equal to str plus and capital A to Z characters. In the same way, I am again checking for value 2, and I am adding, if the value 2 is checked, then I will add the lowercase A to Z characters. If value 3 or the checkbox 3 is checked, I am adding numbers from 0 to 9, and if the last checkbox is checked, then I am adding the symbols. These are the symbols that I want to use in my password. Now it's a very simple for loop over here. What we are doing, we are just running a for loop based on the value of the slider. So in this case, the default value of the slider is 16, as you can see. So it will run this for loop for 16 iterations. And over here we are using a special math function collection, like we are using floor to extract the integer out of the random number written by using math random. So we are saying math.random, and then we are multiplying that with the length of the string variable plus 1. So this will generate a random value, but that random value can be a whole number, and it can also be a number or a float or a real number. But we do not want the part that is after the decimal point, decimal and the decimal point. So we are using the floor function, which will remove that and return the main number. And based on this number, we are fetching the character at that particular position. Now here, there is an interesting thing to understand over here. Probably most of you may already be aware about this, but as I am trying to show how this is done, I just want to explain it again. Every string in JavaScript is nothing but a collection of characters or an array of characters. So you can access any character inside the string by using character at, char at function, and giving the number. Or you can also say something like this, and a number. This and this will give the same result. Of course, here you'll have to use the variable. Okay, so here I am trying to access the variable called str, which is holding string as an array item, while over here I am using a built-in feature of JavaScript called char at to fetch the character at that particular position and add it to the variable called pass. So once this loop is completed, the password will be generated, and that password is what we are returning over here as data. Okay, that's it. So it's a very simple and short sample that I just wanted to show how we can use, and the dynamics of JavaScript, because JavaScript is a very powerful language, a very language filled with ambiguity, I would say, because so many things can be achieved in multiple ways, and that really makes it very hard. Okay, now enough of theory. let's see this application in action. So I will click on preview, and here we have it. I will just click on generate password, and we will have a password over here. Did you observe something? It shows a message like generate password run successful. But if I do not want to see this message, I should go over here, and in the notification I should say show notification on success. I should just remove this. Now let's preview it again. Now the message will not show up. I am not showing the interactivity that is available in the original application that I showed you. Okay, I really wish to give it as a homework to you to add that feature to this particular application. I will publish this application so that you can access it from the marketplace and then try to add the features that I have showed you over here. Like if the length is changed, the password should be auto generated. If the combinations of characters used to generate password is changed, it should automatically generate the password. I will show you how to copy this or how to implement this copy password thing. It's a very simple thing. Okay, this is also a very simple thing. Okay, but it would be good if you would do the homework and try to complete this application, make it behave as I'm showing it to you over here. I will share the preview link or the published link of this application, but I will not share this completed application on the marketplace so that you get a chance to learn something out of this. Let me show you how to add the feature to copy password. I'll just shorten this a bit, and then I will add an icon button. Make it small and place it next to this. Now over here we will put an icon over here. So I will say copy, and I will select this as an icon. And there we have it. Now we will add an event handler over here. This event handler we will use copy value to clipboard, and over here we will again use the handlebar and select generated password.data. That's it. This is all that we need to do to add the feature of copying some value and putting it onto the clipboard. Let's check it. I will generate the password and I will say copy. The password would be copied to clipboard. I will go to another program and paste it to show how it looks. I will just say paste. There we have it. So this is the power of Lowcoder, and see how we are able to create an application, a full-fledged application with minimum coding from our side. So compared to other development tools, the amount of coding is just the logic that we had to create. Rest of the things were just point and click. It makes it very easy for us to build applications quickly. Thank you.